all the stuff that we're moaning about, all the things that we find difficult, what are we doing about it? For me, that was my light bulb moment of going, fuck me, there's no good time. I'm going,
what's the blocker here? Why are lots of people struggling to get those brilliant results?
I don't know what you call them. I was going to call them sewists, but they're not called sewists.
Seamstress. Sewist. Oh my
I knew
God.
it wasn't right. Why did you start your dog business? Just going to go straight in.
You know why?
It's really helpful.
The end of the episode.
Boom. Thanks for that. Okay, let me ask a better question. On the whole, generalising, folk out there, dog trainers, do we think we have a strong enough reason for being in business?
I feel mixed on this.
Go for it.
Sometimes yes, and sometimes that purpose, if that's what we're calling this, is so what's the word, when it all consumes and there's no other consideration and it becomes a detrimental thing. So for example, let's think of quite a common one might be the welfare of the dog, which is brilliant, but we're forgetting about how we get to help the dog.
Yes.
And so the welfare bit becomes quite, well, judgy, because we think people are shit if they don't consider the welfare of the dog. Now, similar to an episode that we just did about judgment and
the judgy carrot.
the judgy carrot. I started with carrot jeans, but it went into a judgy carrot. Yeah, I think yes. And then sometimes maybe not. Maybe we've lost sight completely.
I wonder if, for a lot of it, and I don't for 1 second believe this is dog industry specific in the slightest.
No.
I think a lot of us, you're going to have different camps, different segments of people, aren't you? As with everything, you're going to have those people that are incredibly purposeful in going, I want to create this business for this reason, and it is my North Star thinking, to quote Will Popston. This is how I am moving forward. Everything is directionally going in that way. Mm-hmm. You've then got people that become the accidental business owner. So your hobbyists that then go, oh, actually, I started this as a little bit of a side gig because I enjoy it. Cannot believe these words are going to leave my mouth. I have known through my mum and my sister, I don't know what you call them. I was going to call them sewists, but they're not called sewists.
Seamstress. Sewist. Oh my
I knew
God.
it wasn't right.
Oh dear.
Limited exposure to things I don't care about.
I think you need vocabulary lessons. I couldn't even say it. Oh my God. I think we both need vocabulary lessons. Oh, I still can't say
elocution lessons.
No, it's just vocabulary and understanding what it means.
Well, those people, they've done it because they've enjoyed doing the sewing stuff. God, it's like me trying to be a gardener again. And then judgy looks from the pair of you here. But then they've gone and got some paid work from it, and then it's like, oh, I've kind of just
but
that's just grown into
but
it.
that's not a reason to start, is it?
No, but this is what I mean. I think you've got different entry points into being a business owner, like accidental, purposeful. And I think this is where it becomes a really challenging question to ask, and like, what's the purpose of your business? Because unless you've gone in purposefully.
See, worryingly, mine was a purposeful starting a business and still have no fucking clue.
Yes, yes.
Although I did have a strong purpose.
You did have a very strong purpose,
I had no business
strategy.
No business strategy at all. But it was very much intentional. I had a secure job. I had everything there, and I worked with dogs. And I didn't need to start the business, but I was like, I want to start the business.
Yeah. And I suppose the reason we're bringing this topic up is it's what's motivating you to want to work on your business. So we know there are a lot of listeners out there to this podcast because we have access to the back end stats. So all of you that are listening, why do you listen?
They listen to hear about your carrot trousers.
Carrot trousers?
Barrel trousers, whatever.
I've now just replaced baggy trousers song with carrot trousers. I need to
and hearing about
carrot trousers
your
are.
fidget your fidget.
Maybe I should get one of those like fidget rings.
Yes. Yes, you bloody should.
I'll probably be told
I'm
going to
buy you one.
that as well, though. He's making too much noise.
No, it's okay. I think that would be acceptable, wouldn't it, Ryan? For it to have a fidget ring.
No, see, look, he's pulling a face because it made too much noise.
No, if it's a silent one, be okay.
Mm-hmm. Anywho,
maybe just have a bit of plasticine in your hand, and then that's
I am
fine,
struggling. Like, I need to, like, maybe I should get like just a little stress ball.
Maybe.
Okay. Anyway,
so some of you may tune in for this. Not many of you, but there might be more people who tune in for other reasons.
Yeah, and it's asking yourself like, why? Because again, I know a lot of business owners in various different industries, and we listen to similar podcasts, we consume similar books, and all the kind of stuff. And some of us do it for very different reasons. Some of us want it because actually it's maybe just living vicariously. Like, I've never got any...
Vicariously? That's a word, isn't it?
I feel like we've had
what
some
does it actually
big
mean?
Words come out today.
Vicariously.
Oh, God, you're going to ask me to explain it now. When you don't get to... You're never going to live that life, so you're just going to live it through somebody else.
Fantasy.
Yeah, but it's not.
Effectively, if you're never going to live the life.
Well, no.
Okay.
It's just you're living it. You maybe want to live that life. Ryan looks like he wants to say something. Go on, you've Googled it, haven't you?
Experiencing something indirectly through the actions, feelings, or experiences of another person.
There you go.
Fantasy.
No. But yes, so you might be living vicariously, fantasy, through somebody else and go, oh, I'm never going to do that. But if I wanted to, that's the life I'd want to live.
Oh, God, I'd hate that. I want to do it myself.
But there are people out there that will want to do that. That's
I can't
why
think of anything worse.
I think that's why influencers do so well, because we're living vicarious. Thank you, Ryan. That's a nod of approval in the background. This is why we are so attracted to what other people are doing in their life, because like, I wish I could do that.
Yeah, but if I really wanted to do it, I'd do it.
But again, you are a minority. We are a minority. We are the people that will typically go, yeah, fuck it, I'm going to make that happen. For a lot of us out there, it's...
Maybe the lack of confidence.
It's scary.
Okay.
It's fear.
Yeah, okay.
It's...
Okay, I can start to sympathise then.
God. See what I have to put up with? I have to like force her into going, not everyone is you.
I know this.
So you could be listening for that reason. And again, this comes back down to like, what's your motivation?
So that's where this was going.
Well, no,
people are living through us.
Well, you
Jesus
never know.
Christ, God help you if that's the case. Don't live through
I
us.
I thought you was like bringing spirituality into all of this then.
I wouldn't want to advise you to do that.
So it's everything that we do, like looking at it from that business perspective, like why are you breaking your back learning about dogs? Why are you investing so much in your knowledge? What's the reason for doing that? And I think it's easy to not have an awareness of it. So like for me, if I use my uni example, I went into that very intentionally so that I could get my clinical behaviourist title.
Against my advice, but you did it anyway.
Yes, but I did it because I wanted to do it. And actually, when I'm really honest with myself, I enjoy learning and I enjoy a challenge and I enjoy trying to cram a million things into hardly any time at all. It's just the way I'm wired.
It's that really for you. It's that last one.
Okay.
You do enjoy that challenge of cramming things into no time.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm not a fan of that.
I feel like it's just maximising my life. Like, just what can I get done? And again, we've had this conversation before, but is it nature? Is it nurture? I've had 13 years of being in ad agency world where I didn't know any different. So who knows? But being aware that actually my motivation shifted through that 3 years at uni. That was my intention going in. But then actually I was really honest with myself and I went, I'm never going to use this for anything, but I'm still happy to have had the experience because I enjoy learning. I'm good. 50 grand down the drain for it, but I'm good. It's been enjoyable and I learned a lot in various different ways. So bringing it into that business bit, like that was an intentional decision to do to, I suppose my thought process at the time was actually I could grow my business by getting that clinical behaviourist title because people will be more attracted to me. It would be an easier sell because they could put me through their insurance.
Yes, yeah.
And all of that was that thought process. And it's having that awareness at the same time that, is that my purpose? Do I want to be doing that? And for 10 years of my dog training career, it absolutely was. I wanted to keep consuming. I wanted to be at the top of my knowledge game. I wanted to be able to prove, should I ever be asked, that we never get asked, what qualifications have you got? And that was the reason for doing it. And I never really stopped to think about, how does that impact my business and why am I doing that? Am I doing it because I love learning, or am I doing it to actually grow my business? And when it came down to it, it's because I loved learning.
There were other ways you could have loved learning.
I'm trying to make a point.
I know.
So when we're looking at it from that business lens of, we are in business. As soon as you start asking for money for your service, you have a business. And I think this is the thing that, again, we struggle with, this mindset of having a business. Like, you always used to say, I'm not a business owner.
Didn't feel like it.
But you were doing business things. You were advertising and taking money.
Felt like a noose around my neck. Like a chore. If I could have done it without the business bit, that would have been amazing. But that wouldn't have worked, would it? And it's so weird because I signed up knowing that's what I needed to do.
I'm going to explore. So, you went in with like really a strong purpose, and you wanted to ensure that no dogs ended up in rescue when you was going to do your bit, and that's why you wanted to start with the puppies and everything. Why? I hate why questions. What made you think that doing puppy classes as a business, maybe you didn't think of it like a business, but exchanging cash for you offering that service was better than you continuing to, you could have put those classes on for free and kept working at a paid for job.
Fucking couldn't afford it. Got paid nothing at the Blue Cross, basically. But
you could have gone and got another job and got paid for that and then just done all that stuff for free if that was your purpose.
Yes, that is an option, but that sounded all a bit scary, probably, because I would have had to leave. The only reason I left the Blue Cross in the end was because I really wanted to go all in with my own stuff to, again, I think it was that feeling of being restricted, There was only certain parameters that I had at the Blue Cross. There was only certain, like, obviously very limited resources. It's a charity, you don't get paid very much. You haven't got enough staff, like you haven't got enough toys, beds, food for them. Well, you had food, we got it given to us, but there was never enough of everything. So all the things that I wanted to do, I couldn't do because of all those restrictions. And maybe I thought of it as like a bit of freedom, but it ended up not giving me the freedom and me not trusting it enough for me to go all in on the training. Hence, I actually left that job. No, I started the business whilst I was at the Blue Cross. Then I left the Blue Cross and went and got a part-time job somewhere else so that I could support
so
that.
Still a motivation for money somewhere in all of this.
Yes, but only because the Blue Cross didn't meet my expectations, only because of the limitations around what I was able to do. And that frustration was so high that no one would, I couldn't get my, I didn't feel like my opinions counted. I didn't feel like you
feel valued.
Yeah, the value, I wasn't valued. And that frustrated the hell out of me. So that was the kind of reason I left there. But then I couldn't have gone all in with that training because I didn't trust the process of it back then. And I went to work at the council because that was more secure. Dad worked at the council. Oh, that's a good job, Vicky. You go and work for the council. So that was 30 hours a week. And then I did the dog stuff. But then when I left that, I did the dog walking because I didn't trust it still.
It's just interesting, the whole thought process that goes. And again, I think this is where you've got very different, maybe there are only two camps. There might be a few other anomalies, but it's these hobby businesses that become the accidental businesses. And it's like, I've gone into it because I enjoy it. And if I can make a bit of cash off it, great. And it's that thought process that, well, if I make anything, then it's better than making money in that job over there that I don't really enjoy, but that's the safer option. And here, like, I get to do the thing that I love. Getting paid is a bonus.
And the reality of it is that if I maybe had better support, and maybe if I had, it would have come down to having a mentor, having support at that point, or better support at that point, for me to leave the Blue Cross and go all in on dog stuff. That would absolutely have been my dream, to be able to do that. And it pained me to have to go and get another job because I didn't want to do that. Like, my heart was going, I want to jump in and do the whole thing, but didn't trust it. And maybe it was like, I didn't not trust myself, because I did trust myself then. I was ready for it. I was like, no, I'm going to start this business. Like, I want to be self-employed. I want that challenge of like building my own business almost, but didn't trust the model. Probably even back then, probably didn't realise that I didn't trust the model, but I didn't, did I? And it wouldn't have brought me enough money in, because I remember having this kind of thought process around it, going like, if I do what I'm doing, and I was only thinking about how I was delivering it, what services I was offering at that point in time, nothing else. So if I thought like, I have to do this, but 10x it, oh my fucking God, I'll be dead. And so for me, I was like, I did weigh it up and go, well, as things currently stand, I will literally be a mess on the floor. And it kind of got to that point in the end anyway, virtually. But I was like, no, I've got to be sensible here. I've got to go and get a job. And that's when I just started looking for like part-time, more stable kind of jobs, really. Yeah. So the intention was always to grow. And you know what's really sad as well? Like, I was ready for the business bit, and then I was let down by it all because just didn't know anything. And the support was so minimal. Shit, really. I just had to stab around and do what I felt was what was needed. And, you know, for somebody like me that actually had that proper intention to go all in and go like, this is why I want to do this. I know I can do it. I believe in myself. I believe in me and my abilities and my knowledge. I've got everything that I need. I just don't know how to execute it. And like, sad really, isn't it? And I think that maybe there's a lot of people out there like that.
It's really difficult because I think and it's hard not to compare yourself to things, isn't it? And put yourself in these shoes. I think because you and I have always been relatively like, was self-motivated anyway, it's almost, because you know when you hear people like, and they're really, really, I mean, I think you definitely had more dog purpose than I did when I started it. For me, I was like, oh my God, I'm loving this. And then I'd seen other people were somehow taking that learning and making it a full-time thing. And for me, that was just fascinating. I was like, oh, how can I do that so I can still keep learning and then pass that knowledge on? Because I think I genuinely saw it from the beginning as teaching. And I realised that I love teaching.
Yeah, and it is teaching, isn't it?
Yep. And I never looked at it as, which I think, again, is a smaller percentage of our industry. I love the dogs, but I'm not obsessed with the dogs. I think there's, again, variances in how we look at it. But I love the coaching and the teaching side of it. So for me, the thought that I get to consume and teach and get paid for it, well, fucking brilliant. And that was my motivation. And that's what kept me going. And I loved the challenge behind running the business. And I wanted to have something that I was really proud of. And the money, like everything was just lumped in that same bucket of, I get to earn unlimited potential here. There is an unlimited opportunity to earn whatever the fuck I want. There is an opportunity for me to stretch myself into areas that I've never stepped into before. And that's a challenge to me. And I love it. And I get to teach and coach, and I still get to learn. Like, to me, it was just tick, 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 tick. I want to do all of it. And that's the thing that kept me going. Now, weirdly, when we got together and created Canine Business Academy, the motivation was very different. All of that stuff still stood because that's me, that's like my DNA. But there's a bigger purpose attached to it. It's that we could have a deep and meaningful impact here on so many people's lives and create a massive shift in the dog industry for the better, that actually if we can support trainers and behaviourists and help them get their knowledge out to the public in a way that is sustainable for them as individuals and as a business, and to earn money and to feel safe and to do all of this stuff, fuck me, like I am leaving this earth happy. And that motivation to do both is what will allow me to get up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and go, I'm going in the office to send an email out. I'm getting up to go and read a book. We're going into Mike Shikashio's group to do a coaching at midnight.
Yeah.
Like
who'd have thunk, eh?
But we get to do that, and it's that motivation behind it.
Because you almost have a double whammy mission then, don't you? Because the original mission for me still stands, like that's still there. Like I want these dogs to stay out of rescue. I want the owners to have easier lives with their puppies. And actually a secondary thing for me was, yes, it was the dogs. And actually I love the transformation. That's what I learned through the coaching people and teaching people. Never thought I'd feel that, because why would I? I'd never done anything like that before. But I love that transformation. I love people getting brilliant results. And again, that's where the frustration came in for me, because I was like, I'm not getting those awesome results that I get them sometimes. But what's the blocker here? Why are lots of people struggling to get those brilliant results? And this is where, looking at the business model, that's where it came out. But there's a secondary. So if I look at like, I want the brilliant results for people, I want the dogs to stay out of rescue, we get to help trainers and behaviourists get their businesses better running so that they can help these people. But I'm still helping it. I'm still doing that mission. We've now just got this sort of, it's almost like, I think of it like a little snowball, and it's grown into this bigger snowball, because you still get to do those things plus these additional things on top, which is really nice.
I like the animation around a little snowball.
A little snowball that grows. That's kind of just what popped into my head.
Yeah. And you can have these, oh God, secondary, tertiary. I've lost it at 4.
That's 3, isn't it? I don't know what 4 is. Quadrupling.
I was going to say quadrupling. You can have all of these additional reasons, because then like for us, like I know a big thing for us is that we'd like to give our husbands the opportunity to retire if they wanted to. They may never take
retire.
It. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like,
are we that old?
That there's enough that there's enough cash that they've got a choice if they want to do something. For me, it's giving the kids the enthusiasm and belief that you can create anything you want and look at the opportunities that are available to you when you put yourself out there and you do all these things. So it all becomes like wrapped up in everything, but it still has to. And I think this is where a lot of us, I can't even say forget, because I don't think we're taught or exposed to this type of thing enough to go, why are you doing the thing that you do? So you know when you're moaning every week that you've got no inquiries and you've got no cash coming in and clients are dickheads and all the stuff that's really hard about business, you've got to get your comms out to people. They don't reply. You're talking to nobody on Facebook and you're not getting any engagement back, and it's really fucking annoying, and they're just going over to that person all the time. All the stuff that we're moaning about, all the things that we find difficult, what are we doing about it? What's the motivation to want to change it? Because we can all sit there and bitch and moan, and yes, this is blunt, but you know us now, it's with love. We can do all of that stuff. Why would you want to change it? Because there's enough opportunity to go and get a job.
But actually, let's flip it and look at the people who are desperate to go all in with dog training but have a job. And it's that like, oh, when is it the right time, blah, 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 and the safety net and everything. But you hate the job. Let's say you really hate that day job and you're doing the dog training of an evening or weekend. What's your motivation there? Like, what's your purpose with staying with that job? Yeah. Because for me, when I worked at the council, I got offered a management position because I was good at the job. My purpose was never to be a crematorium manager. But
Really?
I know, but I could have easily snapped that job up, and I could have walked into that role because I was doing a lot of it anyway, because my boss had a bit of a rough time and he was off for quite a while. So I was stepping into that management role, which is why they were like, have it. We're having a restructure. Like, you could literally have that job. 45 grand a year, easy. That'd be brilliant for you. Like a massive step up, because I was on about prorated. God, what was I on about? 18, which was like massive for me coming out of the Blue Cross, but it's about 18 grand a year prorated for 30 hours a week. And I was just like, God, that is like way more than double. Like, that would be good. Part of me for a second was like, oh, and Gareth was like, oh, I think you should do it. And I'm like, no fucking way. That is not my purpose in life, is to be a creme manager. I could do it, and I know I could do it well, but I'd always be thinking, I wish I'd done the dog thing.
Yeah.
Because that was my heart. That was what I really felt passionately about. I didn't feel passionately about working in the creme. I loved it. It did the job for a bit, but no. So for me, I was like, the easy option would be, if it's really money, and that's the logic here, which it would have been the much easier option, wouldn't it? Let's face it. I could have just stayed there, gone into that job, had the like, I'm a manager type thing, which I'd never had that before. And instead I went, no, I'm going to do the really hard fucking thing, take voluntary redundancy, use the money for a dog walking van, which is what I did, and scrat around for lots of years. But that was my passion and that was my purpose. And can you see how strong that was for me to sacrifice that easy option and go with the hard option?
Yeah.
Because I knew deep down, no, if you take that easy option, you'll regret that. I know you will, because you've worked so hard to get to this point. You took a risk working in rescue. You took that job as a temporary maternity cover, could not have gone anywhere. You learn all those skills. You your life was just so passionate about all the behaviour stuff. You learn all this brilliant stuff that you could pass on to owners, and you just waste that in a second if you went and worked in that job. And for me, internally, I was like, everyone thought I was mad. My mom, my husband, like everyone was like, what the fuck are you doing? My sister, all the people who would go like, why would you do that? And I'm like, because no.
This is when it gets really difficult, isn't it? Because it's the people around you.
Oh, it took a lot for me to be strong. I tell you what, I could have caved. I could have quite easily gone, no, you are right. Yeah, I'll just do it. Sounds better, looks better. People can talk about me and say like, oh, Vicky's like a manager.
Yeah. I'll appease everybody else.
Just part of me just wanted that for myself. I was like, Joe, I've always felt a bit shit in all the jobs that I've had. Like, they've always been a bit scratty. And I thought, Joe, what? That would be the first time that someone actually probably thought better of me as a person. How bad's that though, when I think of that?
Ego comes into everything.
Yeah, but I want them to like me as a person, not because of the job I do, but part
this
of
is
my
what
brain.
we're taught to believe, though, isn't it? It's like
It's sad,
we've
isn't it?
conditioned this. Like, I had the same as like, I'd convinced myself I needed to be account director before I was 30. It's what I wanted to work towards.
For the same kind of reasons.
Yep.
Probably, yeah.
I was like, that sounds fucking impressive. Account director.
On your CV.
Director. Me. Little old me.
That's what, yeah.
That's exactly what I wanted. And then it's this whole purpose thing I just find fascinating, because again, there's different versions of purpose, isn't there? Like, you can have that big motivational thing of it's for the dog reason or whatever it is, but it's still a lot of you in that as well. Like, what is it that you want? Because for me, being in that position where I had that 70k salary job and the company car and the account director title, I was like, technically living the fucking dream.
You had it all, didn't you?
Like, everyone thought I
paper.
was amazing in a like that achievement proudness. And I was like, but I still get up at fucking 5 o'clock every day to go into an office that's dead because I'm the only one in there, working through till 11 o'clock at night, being effed and jeffed out all day by clients because a poster hasn't arrived on time, having a team to manage that don't give a shit because they're just looking at it as a job. I'm like, I had no managerial skill. I wasn't taught any of this. It was just, Joe's there, Joe will do it, you'll get thrown in. I was very, God, it sounds awful when you say it out loud. my love language is words of affirmation. I like it when people say nice things about me. And when I had senior staff and like the CEO and everyone going like, Jo, you're amazing. I was like, oh yes.
I've made it.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is great. This is like feeding my soul. Keep telling me nice things about me. And that's what I did it for. And then I just hit that point where I was like, I could do this for another 30. I could do this for the rest of my life. I could do this until I retire. And I could see my life flash before my eyes. And I was like, do I want to do this? Like 80-hour weeks? I can't see a way out of this. I've been doing it for 13 years. Those hours have just increased. They've never gone down. Can I just keep doing this? And then when I had the miscarriage, for me, that was my light bulb moment of going, fuck me, there's no good time. I'm going. Hand him a nose in. So I'm out there. And now I don't know what to do.
Something good always comes out. Something shit though, doesn't it?
It does. And I love, God, it sounds quite morbid really, but I'm so grateful for having that miscarriage. Because it was everything that kind of changed for me. I was like, and I believe it was meant to be. Because without it, I'd have still been there.
Same as the restructure at the council, because I probably would have stayed there for X amount of years doing that side-by-side job. Because the voluntary redundancy came at the restructure, it was you go for this manager's job or you leave. I'm like, that's the push I need. Thanks, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And yeah, same. It was shit. I remember going, what? Oh my God, my life's over for a few minutes. I was like, oh. And then I went, you know what? This is the universe saying, go. Just do it.
Yeah.
And I did it.
Because there's never enough cash in the bank, is there? Like, ever. Even if you plan for these things, there is never enough cash in the bank. There's always something else that comes up. There's always thing after thing after thing. And I think this is that motivation to go, actually, I think keeping the motivation is hard because I think it can be, I say easy. Once you hit a certain point, once you've like trigger stacked yourself enough and you're like, fuck me, like that's the nail in the coffin, I'm done. It's almost easy at that point to go, yep, I'm gonna go in. And then you've got the reality of having to do it and keep it up and go, right, now what's my motivation? Because the motivation was to leave. The motivation was to start it. What's the motivation to continue it? So when you've got no inquiries coming in, what's the motivation to keep going? When it's hard and you sat there at 11 o'clock at night and you're writing up your training plans and you're thinking, fuck me, I don't get paid enough to do this. What's the motivation to keep doing it?
And then funnily enough, I don't think I've ever said this before, but you know when going from scratty person to actual purposeful business owner, got the model working better, earning like 5k months. I loved it and everything about my life changed, like all the stuff. However, I do wonder if I hadn't, well, I'd already met you at that point, but if we hadn't started CBA, I do wonder how long I'd have been able to do that for without wanting the next challenge. Because I am the sort of person, like you are, that wants that, feeds off that challenge and goes like, come on, it's fucking scary, but let's do it. And because I'd overcome that massive like thing in my life, 14 years I'd been operating like that, and I was really proud of myself for actually doing the really scary thing and getting it working really well. I know me, and I'd have probably gone, what next? And I don't know, would I have stayed doing it? Would I have probably got staff on? I imagine that probably would have been the next step, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But then, is that enough?
That's where I got to.
I honestly was like, because I think I'd have got to probably your point where you'd got Kerry working for you, she, you know, and you were doing nicely, and I'd probably done the same, maybe brought someone else again, a few people on. But I know what I'm like, and I probably still would have wanted more, knowing what a big difference I'd made in my life. I'd be like, I want more than that, and I don't want just a little bit more than that. I want a lot more than that. And again, I suppose it's where
you don't know it until you
don't.
In it though,
you're looking back at it.
Because you never ever at that time think that's what you want.
No, of course you don't.
You'd have said to me like, I'm going to have staff and I'm going to have like a 6-figure business and I'm going to have all this stuff and I'm going to be able to go to uni with 2 kids, and I'm like, fuck me, that sounds horrendous.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Don't want it. That sounds like far too much.
But it's only when you look back at it to go, there's that internal driver there somewhere, isn't there? So even with you with the uni, and I joke and go like, no, you shouldn't have done it, or that time that you spent at uni could have been better spent, is all I was thinking at that point. But actually, it's that internal driver for you. It's that motivation, and the same. I can see it now. Like if I played it out and go like, if we hadn't started CBA, I'd have carried on that. Would I have got to that point where it felt stale, where it felt like I'd got no purpose anymore? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But the CBA...
It would have had to grow. It couldn't have stayed
No, it couldn't have stayed the same. I would have got bored with it if it had stayed the same, I'm pretty sure. Because it almost felt like a bit too easy, which is a bit weird to say, because it was always such a struggle. So it was almost like I've taken away all this stress. I've taken away all the bad things. I've only got good things in my life now. I've got all this time, all this money. I'm helping all these people, like growing these relationships with clients. Oh, where's all the challenges gone?
Yeah.
Haven't got any anymore.
And this is
so weird.
Fucked up we are as humans. Because when it's good, you're like, I'm bored.
I'm bored now. Like,
Give me a problem.
What else?
Which is why it's easy to stay in the negative loop of, oh, it's hard. Oh.
Yeah, because you thrive off that in a way, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. So I suppose the question to leave you all with is, what is your motivation? When it's hard, what's keeping you going? Where do you want to go with it? Where do you want your life to be? And I think this is where, as entrepreneurs, because you are all entrepreneurs listening to this, you wouldn't be listening to it otherwise. What do you want your life to look like? Because your business is your life and it's not. You can have both and you can create different things.
Yeah.
World's your oyster.
Nice little summary.
Thanks. What else are you going to say?
Nothing.
I'm going to say, poor Ryan has a fear.
We're so shit at ending these things.
I know. If you are enjoying the podcast, which hopefully you are, please do hop on and leave us a review.
We do need some new reviews.
Fresh blood.
We're shit and we forget to ask you for a review, but if you love it, please do.
Yeah.
Please do.